23rd of March 1989, my last lecture in this series of 4 lectures, and this is the second part of philosophy underlying Ginans at Richmond Jamaat Khana of Vancouver. Yadi 2 weeks ago, I spoke on the philosophy underlying in Ginans. I told the Jamaat, philosophy means wisdom and understanding of nature, reasoning. It is a science of being as being. It's a science of understanding of the creation and nature. And our Ginans are full of it. Ginans are composed not in a year, 2, or in a century, starting from Pir Sadkur Nur about 1,000 years ago, till the time of Imam Hasan Ali Shamabad, and the last Ginans were composed by Sayyida Imam Begum about 120 years ago. She died in 1866 in Karachi. She lived in Bombay. She was a child, not directly but indirectly, from the progeny of Mir Hasan Kabiruddin, from his eldest son Imam Shah. Ginans contain 24 languages and dialects of India, including Arabic and Persian. There are many Ginans which have a combination of 10 languages, some 15 languages, some few, some more. There are certain Ginans which are only in one language, like Punjabi, Sindhi, Kutchi. But mostly Ginans have combination of so many languages in one Ginan. Our Ginans is a treasure without any boundary. Maulana Hazar Imam has very rightly, and whatever he says, it is right, said it's a wonderful tradition. It is not possible for me to give you comprehensive understanding of Ginans in 1 or 2 or even in 10 sittings. There should be a course of understanding Ginans which may run every week for 50 or 100 weeks, and then we may do some justice to this subject. Ginans have, apart from philosophy that we are touching tonight, geography, chemistry, physics, geology, and so many other branches of science. Human psychology is full in Ginans. But then there are so many other things, poetical things, very subtle refinement of understanding. There are ethics. There are principles of character. There is a great foundation of humanity and human science. These have touched each and every corner of human life. From birth, rather I should say pre-birth period, when the child is in womb of his mother, until death, and post-death things. Last year, I gave a ALWAAZ of 2 hours in Toronto. The subject was life after life. And another part of it was about an hour and a half, the process of death. If you can find these 2 tapes, please do listen to them. In one listening, you won't be able to understand comprehensively. So I was telling you that Gnans contain the essence and understanding and knowledge from the very beginning of the creation. Rather, if I say the period pre-creation, which is known as ALWAAZ, the period before creation is known in Gnans as ALWAAZ. There is a farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah alayhi. He says, Tamaro a sat panth ad ALWAAZ thi chalyo aave chhe. This sat panth, this faith, that Ismaili Tariqa, we understand. He says it is not a new thing. It is coming from Ad Unad, pre-creation. What was in pre-creation? What was in Unad? There was no creation. So what was there? That Nur himself was alone. And this is the basis of Ismaili Tariqa. Ismaili Tariqa in Islam is based on Nur, understanding of Nur. And it is very difficult. It's really a difficult task. An ordinary person or lower intelligent person cannot comprehend, if not fully, not even 10%, the reality of Ismaili faith. And the reality means the haqiqah. I have little bit deviated. I come back. Gnans have philosophical understanding. In many Gnans we come to know that Pir is requesting, or he is praying, or he is lamenting as being a wife, as being a woman. Eji nari thaine ame sreviya. He said that in says, I have become a wife, and in that way, Ya Mawla, I have served you. Now what is the significance of that? It is so hard to understand this by a lady who has born in this atmosphere of materialism in North America and in the Western countries, and who has been brought up in that way. She cannot understand the reality of being a wife, the connection with her husband. In India, particularly during the time of our peers, about 500-600 or more years, even during the time of Rasulullah, a wife would serve her husband like a god. If not God himself, but second to God. There is a very famous hadith of Rasulullah. Nabi Karim Salawatullah alayhi says, if God had permitted me, I would have told wives that every day they should prostrate, make sajdo to her husbands. But again there is another hadith. I will explain to you why it was told in that way. There is another hadith. Nabi Karim says, for a wife, her murshid is husband. Murshid, guru. A murshid is a person to whom his disciple never objects, never argues. There is a great difference between a slave and wife. Wife is not slave. She is, according to our Ginans, Ardandani, 50% in the life of a person. In this Ginan, Raja, Pandavete Medi Prithvi, he says that Mara ghare che Ardandani tene puchine vad karis. I have brought my 50% partner at home. I will ask her, consult her, and then I tell, O king, it was pertaining to the request or rather a kind of a pressure from Duryodhan to a Bhangi to put light in the house of Pandava. So according to our Ginans, wife is not a slave. Wife is 50%. Again, Pir says, Purush Nari nu ekaj dharam, rakho khamya to na lage karam. That means husband and wife, they both are equal. Their path is equal. Their duty is equal. There should be tolerance between both of them. Then there is no question of any problem in life. But what I wanted to tell you about Pir's Ginans being a Nari, Pir himself has addressed himself to Hazrat Imam as his own Nari. Nari, the wife, according to the Orientalists, not the Westerners, they will never understand it. Wife loves her husband as much as she loves God. And therefore, she will tolerate each and every problem in life of her kith and kins, of her children, of her in-laws, of the world even. So much so that when the husband dies, she herself also goes into fire and dies with him. Now these are the old things. I'm not applying these things here, but I'm explaining the Ginans. Sati hui, to kya hua na jali piya ke saath? It is also in our Ginan. So if there is a Sati, Sati means the lady who has never done anything wrong, who has never committed any sin, particularly adultery. She is a Sati. And he says, what is the beauty in being Sati? If the husband dies, why did she burn herself to ashes with husband? Now, there is a subtle message in it. He says, if you are a Momin, here Sati means a Momin, Momin of Mola Baba. Just as a wife submits her mind, body, soul, everything to husband, a Momin submits himself to the order and farman of Mola Baba. And Pir himself has done it. Now another point. You remember this Ginan Allah ek Khasam Sabka. In Punjabi language, Khasam means husband. God, He is masculine. And every soul that has been created up to now and will be created is feminine. Only Allah Himself is masculine. And even the souls of Nabi or Noor of Nabi is also feminine. Therefore, Allah is fatherly figure, Nabi is motherly figure. Allah has Jalali attributes, Nabi has Jamali attributes. Jamali means kind, soft, like mother. So Pir says, your soul is Nari in the huzur of Maula Baba, who is the only Mard. Mard means masculine. Vare kere Puruk Surevo, Sri Islam Shah, Vare kere Mard Surevo, Sri Islam Shah. Mard means husband. And all other souls are simply wives, Nari, feminine gender. And femininity is kindness, gentleness, merciful, soft, sustaining, like mother. So this is the theme, that you submit yourself physically, mentally, and in every way that you are living in this world to your Maula Baba. He is your husband. He is your master. He is your sustainer. He is your aim and object and everything. It's not easy to understand, but we Orientalists, particularly from Indian stock, we know better. Now the things have changed, but I am explaining to you the Ginans. Another way, in our Ginans I find that wife husband go together. They are never separated. When I taught your wife husband, please now take it after my so much explanation. Now what is wife, what is husband? Soul of universal soul of Maula Baba is husband, and my soul is wife. Now I'm talking in the spiritual sense that our soul is Nari to him. So he says that wife, husband, they go together. They are never separated. A woman is never separated from Maula Baba. He is always there present with him. And he is the master, he is the supreme commander, and we are his subject. That is the Ginan of Pir Shamsi. That Ginan has lot of spiritual knowledge in it. Again, wife, husband are mentioned. Prem Patan Raja Man Shudha, Is Ghar Hridaya De Rani, Raj Kare Panchvi Pradhan Panchvir. I am just simply giving you the quickly essence of it. Hukum aviyo vira gurtano have kem rehvaye. Hukum aviyo vira betano eklo kem javaye. So Pir has formed a story to make us understand the condition we come across in Baitul Khayal. Now here Pir says, your soul, it is God. But your man should, pure mind, that is the king. The heart is the queen. Murshid is Pir Shams. He has given a bowl, Isme Azam. Now this is the order. Isme Azam is Hukam. And Hukam is that you both come together. That means mind and heart must unite in Baitul Khayal. That is the deep concentration. No other person, no other thought, no outsider or foreign matter should come in. Pure mind, man Shuddh, Raja, Hriday is Rani, and Prem cotton in the city of love. That means the love of Mola. Pure mind, his wife heart, they must go together. That means concentrate in ibadat. This is the hukam. But you have a child. The child is the desire of mind. And when we sit in bandagi, so many outer desires that we cherish or we want to see come in our way. So this is a balak, this is a child of thoughts and also of heart. So whatever we think, it affects the heart. If you are very happy, the heart beats quickly. If you have a shock, the heart beats quickly. If you are sad, the heart also slows down. It is sad. Whatever a man thinks, it affects the heart. A person who is always under strain and stress, slowly his heart becomes weaker and weaker. So heart and mind go together, particularly in ibadat. So hukam is, Ismi Azam is that they both should go together. But there is a child, and this child is the desires of the world, problems, so many thoughts. So what she says, hukam avyo betano trijo kem javai? How can we take the third person? So she put the child, the baby, in a cradle, and both wife, husband, Raja, Rani, man and heart, they unite, and the concentration is arranged, and then they go. The path is going, ibadat is going very nicely, smoothly, and all of a sudden, inadvertently, a thought came of some person, and he deviated the thoughts. Journey is broken. Wife, husband got separated. Rani dies. Rani dies means the heart either becomes strained or exhausted or tired. Ibadat is a real, very nice, good exercise. It is not only mental exercise, it is also exercise to our heart. But there are methods. Unfortunately, 99%, maybe 999 in 1,000% in our Jamaat, they don't know how to make ibadah. Because number one, we are not much interested in that. We don't crave for it. We have taken it for granted. But those people who are really serious about it, they find the ways and they practice it. They face difficulties, all sorts of trouble, but they want good ibadat. So, hukam is this, they both should come. Now one dies. She saw a deer, a cow deer, feeding her child, and immediately the heart remembered something very emotional, very sensitive, and the ibadat broke, concentration broke, man flying up came down. Oh, what to be done? It is like queen died. Now eklo kem javai? Because Guru has said, come two, both of you, in pair. Rani Tajio Pran, the queen died. So what the king did, चादर बिछावी बांधी गांठड़ी लई चालिया देव ने द्वार. He just put a sheet of cloth, took the corpse of the queen, bound it, and took up on his head and went to Mola. Now it is a kind of jabardasti. He did not leave that dead body of the queen there and there. Dead or dead, Peer has told me, Murshid told me, Guru said you come both. So I'm taking. Now what is this? Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has said, if you break your concentration, or by one way or other your concentration is broken in ibadat, then what should you do? Put the sheet, wrap the dead body and take with you. Now what is it? At that time, instead of concentrating on that bowl mentally, now you use another method. Say your word without using your tongue, not even in your closed mouth. But if you are speaking, speak in that way. Yali, 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 whatever is your bowl. Repeat your bowl very fast, very quick. Mind you, with closed mouth, no sound. Even in your closed mouth, tongue should not move, but as if you are shouting mentally, yali, 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 and speedily take your bowl and immediately within a second or two, your concentration will come together again. ले चालिया देव ने द्वार, सोनानी दीदियों आगे जगमगे बैठा त्रिभुवन शाम, you got दीदार. उठो हृदय दे रानी अमी पियो, खोड़े दवरावो बाल. O queen, get up. He revived the dead body. Dead queen came into life again. What you want? खोड़े दवरावो बाल. Here your desires are fulfilled. All your problems gone. Whatever you want will be done because you have elevated to that stage. What a philosophy Peer has told us in a small story. It's so wonderful. I have given you very rapidly and just the upper crust, not the inner crust yet. But this is the story. In this way, he has given us the wisdom and knowledge of reality. These are fantastic. 3-4 days ago, some lady was reciting a Ginan in Darkhana. In that Ginan, Gurpir Hasan Kabir Din says, if there is a cooking pot, and in that there is oil. Tel kadai ma kad kade. That means the oil is so hot, smoke is coming out of that oil. It is so hot, extremely hot, a little bit less than getting fire. In that kadai ma kad kade, but if this moon is having a reflection in this, and you see that moon in this boiling oil, the moon does not get any wound or hurt. Moon does not get burned because it is just the reflection. What a nice simile he has given. We mortals, human beings, are boiling in our own problems. We have so many difficulties and dukh and pain, sorrow. But in that, if we have a little reflection of Mola Baba, the reflection of his Didar, here moon is Peer, Guru, Murshid. his reflection in you is the ball. You know, Baitul Khayal, we get from Hazrat Imam, but Hazrat Imam is also our peer. Maulana Hazrat Imam is 50th peer, 49th Imam. He is having both Jama. He is also father, he is also mother. And Baitul Khayal is given 99% by peer. Imam doesn't bother for that. During the time of Hasan Ali Shah Mahbub's Imamat, Imam Hasan Ali Shah Mahbub never gave any bowl to anyone. He would come to Jamaat Khana once a while. Here he used to come once or twice a week, here Ali Shah Mahbub, and he used to give bowl. So when Ali Shah Mahbub himself became Imam and he gave his Piratan to his son Pir Shahabuddin Shah, then Ali Shah Mahbub stopped that thing. It was now Shahabuddin Shah, the Pir has done it. So in this way, he says that in your life, if you have the reflection of Guru, and this reflection he meant Baitul Khayal, goal of Baitul Khayal, then whatever the difficulties are in you, in your life, your soul does not get hurt. It is pure. Maulana Hazrat Imam says, you might face difficulties, you may be worried, but you will never be dukhi. Never. Vyadi thase, chinta thase, dukh thase, tame dukhi nahi tha. So our gnans have so much to do that. I give you a very little passing remarks of how creation was made. Sadruddin, he has made a wonderful gesture in that sense. The most difficult book that Sadruddin has written is Girbavali. It's a 40-page small book, but I tell you, it is so hard to understand it. And if you explain it, there might be 4,000 pages to write its explanation. And the book itself is just 40 pages. And dialogue between wife and husband. Here wife is Parvati and husband is Shiv. This dialogue contains everything. It is similar like that. Imam Shah has written Zire Bhai Ginans. It's a series of Ginans. The Ginan is known as Bai Budai. Bai Budai was a sister of Sayyid Imam Shah and daughter of Pirasim Kabirdi. So brother and sister, after the death of Pirasim Kabirdi, one day they sat and they started talking. And she made some questions and he answers. If you can read Gujarati, find this Ginan, Bai Budaina Ginan. And she puts questions and he gives answers. And there are so many things, lovely things. The experience of Baitul Khayal. But besides this story, dialogue between Shiva and Parvati, Sadruddin has explained in it how God created. So, it's not a very detailed thing, but I'm just giving you a kind of little sample. He says that Sri Sahib Ji ne ichha thi, Mola desired so to create. And it is exactly what is in Quran. Allah desired it. And then he said, be. And it became Faykul Fayakun. Allah said, Kun, be, Fayakun. And it came into existence. But he has given a little more detail which we don't find in Quran. Because Quran does not give details of any kind. Like that, Quran has told us repeatedly that you say your prayer, but what to say, he has never said anything. There is no mention what to say in prayer. It is the Pir, Muhammad Mustafa, who told us to pray this namaz or salat or dua. Indanu akar. And out of this spitting, he made a very big egg, oval shape. Now, if you read now some scientific discoveries, slowly, scientists are now discovering the reality which is very near to our gnans. The theory of Big Bang, it is our theory. It's 800, 900 years ago explained in the gnans. The theory of Big Bang. Scientists now say that from each species of evolution theory, at the end of the old generation, starting of the new generation of the species, there was a jump. It is not a smooth evolution, but there are jumps. And this is luxurious. Sorry, I have no time. I need a blackboard to make you understand, and I need a lot of time. So there is a jump from one species to another species. And Pisadardin also have told us that 4 kind of forms of jeev or life took place. 4 categories. These 4 categories, some are born from egg, some are born from mother's womb, some born from simply being fission and fusion. That means from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, as the cells produce in mother's womb. Immediately the conceivement takes place, the cells start multiplying in double form. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 120 like that, 128 like that. And the other form is coral reefs. Coral reefs in sea, they are like stones, they are like rocks. So people have given us these 4 different kinds of evolution in which the life takes form. But in many points, evolution has jumped from one condition to another condition, all of a sudden. So P. Sadruddin says that Maula Bapa, he took out of his mouth the spitting. Now what is the spitting? It is a kind of letter. When you spit, it's not purely water type of drop. It has letter. You take soap and rub it and you produce letter. So like that, this spitting is letter. Now this letter revolved. It was gas. God has no body. He does not spit. He has no saliva like us. But Sadruddin has simplified it to make us understand. So God ordered, gas produced. This gas started revolving. When it revolved and revolved and revolved, it became thicker because it became hotter and hotter. So it became thicker and thicker and thicker. And how the big stars were formed in this way. The earth is formed in this way. And all the celestial bodies that you see, stars and other planets, it is formed like this way and they are revolving. And every body is not absolutely round like a football or a circle, but every celestial body is oval shape. Either it is in the shape of an orange, like our earth. It is a little bit pressed on both the North Pole and South Pole. Our earth is not 100% circle. The sun is also not 100% circle. The whole creation is in oval shape. And they revolve, they rotate, also in Indanuakar. But Pisanuddin has written, and he has given the details, that it took 73 yug Swamiji ne ramat karta vahi gaya. 73 yugs. Now one yug that Pisanuddin is describing, it is 11,000 million. 11.11 billion. It is one yug multiplied by 73. So ewa 73 yug Swami ji ne ramat karta vahi gaya. That much time was taken to form the celestial bodies. But God's creation is not new. It is not ending anywhere. It's a continuous, perpetual process, and God is still creating. But Pisanuddin is talking about the present universe that we are living in. This universe is so big that you cannot even think about it. Our universe contains so many Milky Ways. Many people, many scientists, they have described the universe as Milky Way, but there are much more than that. Because our solar system, it is in our galaxy, and in a galaxy there are numerous solar systems. Then there are numerous galaxies in one Milky Way. Then there are many Milky Ways in one universe. And there are 18,000 universes like that, according to Rasulullah. Nabi Karim says there are 18,000 universes. And Pir Shams has written a Ginan. The first part of that Ginan is Ek Dhandukar Fari Duja Hovega. Now this Dhandukar means again new creation. So this is the richness of our Ginans. Ginans have so much to do. I give you another, a little example of intelligence, which I spoke last time in Darkhana, but many of you were not there. And he says, मन तो महाबलवंत छे जोदो जोरावर जान. The mind, he says, is very powerful, extremely powerful. It's a great, powerful, mighty man. Man to महाबलवंत छे जोदो जोरावर जान. मन ने जीते जीतसो, मन ने हाने हान. If you conquer your mind, you are victorious, you are successful. But if you lose, then you have lost everything. What a nice quotation. To control man, that is the gist of ibadat. That is the aim of ibadat. When man is controlled, when man, our mind is in our under control, then all the powers come out of it. And Nur, it is in our own body. The seat of Nur is intelligence. Our soul is Nur. It's a reflection of Nur. And it lives in intelligence. The intelligence lives in our mind, upper mind. and that mind works through so many sources. One of them is the heart. The other is knowledge. The third is practice. The fourth is meditation. And it comes from the Iman and obedience to Maulana Hazarim. So in another way, he says, Jem jem jugat so preet kareva, tem tem ren vihani. The more you work systematically, the more knowledge and light will come to you. Your ignorance will go away. Jem jem yugat so preet kareva. Yukti means system. Yukti means art. Yukti means discipline. And Batul Khayal is very hard discipline. That's the word of Maula Baba. Batul Khayal, Maula says, it's a hard discipline. It's not easy. But he says, the more you act disciplinary, in a disciplined way, systematically, tactfully, the more you will get light. Tem tem ren vihani, the darkness will go away, will vanish away. It will dissipate. These have made Ginans a marvelous treasure of various kinds of precious stones. There are rubies, there are sapphires, there are diamonds, and so many other precious stones. Ginans are full of that. Unfortunately, this type of lecture should be in a series, 3, 4, 5 or more lectures. But I think tonight is okay here. Thank you very much, and I will allow you to put me some questions of anything you have not understood from my tonight's lecture. Thank you very much. Mawla bless you in this world and the next world. May keep you on Siratul Mustaqim, fulfill all your good desire, and will help you to solve your problems and difficulties. May He be pleased always on you and make you His best obedient servant. Ya Ali. Pray that they don't disappear, at least for next 10 generations. But let me tell you, no one has ever done it. But someone is doing, I know. Someone is doing, and it might take another 2 or 3 years. But inshallah it will come up. Ask the tariqa. That is the only station where the train halts. I think so. Thank you very much. It's into you the strict discipline. But I will give you a little explanation. Batul Khayal is like a course of university. But before jumping on university course, the person must have, prior to that, a kind of degree or eligibility, ability to take that course. For instance, if there is a person who has only done about 10 grades, he can't just write his thesis for master. Similarly, a person who is not completely attached to the Shariat and fundamental principles and practice of our religion, like coming to Jamaat Khana every day, saying your prayer 3 times without any mistake, without any irregularity, as far as possible with punctuality, with his good character. Chokhi Dasmant, Pakki Farman Bardari of Hazar Imam. Then he is eligible to take bowl and go for Baitul Khayal. And then Baitul Khayal itself demands much more attention, much more energy and time than ordinarily we do. Baitul Khayal is not everyone's job. So, to get up in the morning regularly, without fail, 4 o'clock, sit in the ibadat, keeping all our thoughts out of our mind and place our concentration right at the feet of Mullah Bapa and concentrate on our bowl. It's really a very hard discipline. And such people who really want to make some progress in Baitul Khayal, they have to change their many habits. To eat at night heavily is injurious, detrimental to the progress of Baitul Khayal. And all the time his thoughts must remember Mawla Bapa while walking, talking, doing anything, even sleeping, practically whole day, 24 hours. He should train his mind in such a way that even if he is speaking to someone, talking to someone, or if he is writing something, or if he is doing something with his hands, his jiva must keep on repeating that bowl inside him. And it is possible. It is possible. Dast bayar, Dil bayar, dast bakar. That your hands must do some work, but your dil is attached to your friend, and your friend is the Imam. So this is really a very hard discipline. For that, we must be careful and prepare ourselves by attending Jamaat Khana without fail, saying our prayer without fail, eat halal roji, give dasman rightly, keep good character, don't hurt anyone, something like that, which ginans and farmans are full of such ethical codes. So this is that. This worries us also better. We are very much worried about it. Not only we, but even Hazrat Imam is worried about it. Everyone is not interested, but some people should come out and work. Well, I'm trying my best. Pray for me that I may fulfill this thing. Inshallah.
We will find the need of Imamah forever. Does the period describe this in the Quran?
Oh, many times.
And also, is there a mention of the Day of Judgment and the description of the Day of Judgment?
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, it's no time here. But he has given, not in one Jinan, but I think more than 50 or more than 60 places. He says, when call will come, I'm giving you just a sample. He says, when call will come, the first thing will happen. Pehla lida quote. Now here quote means the thinking or thoughts coming from brain. Pehla lida quote, pachi lidu kaya ke rohans. First attack of death comes. It is on the mind. Maulana Imam Jafar Sadiq says that each and every person, whether he is a mu'min or a kafir, he is given a notice of death 40 days before. Usually people don't understand. But mu'min picks up the thread that my time is now near. So when the first strike of Malkul Maut is on the mind, and mind is disconnected from the heart, and then heart stops, then the jiva runs from artery to artery, vein to vein, and then Malkul Maut grabs it. And then Nav Darwaza Band Thinta, all our 9 openings in the body are closed. Vacha stops. Man cannot talk. Sometimes he hears, but he cannot talk. And then slowly, if he is a top grade moment, his soul is taken away from the eyes. And the lowest grade, his soul goes away from the 2 dirty openings, rectum and urinary spot. Some people who are better, their soul passes away through nose, through mouth, through ears. So these descriptions are given in Ginans, and also some other descriptions too. Then his lekho will be taken at that time. It might be inside the body, it might be outside the body. What is your second question?
The second question was, is the...
Included in that.
You sort of touched it, but what I want to know from you is the day of judgment is quite many ginans.
Oh yes, many ginans. Sahib lekho le say many ginans, many.
Death, generally the day of judgment, or is there...
That is the day of judgment. It is. There is a very simple ginan. Ji roz qyamat dharo avase an avtare avatar ji sahib lekho mang se tame nischay jano nirdhar ji. Every life, at the end of it, there is lekho, that is Yom Hisab, Day of Judgment. Yes? Yes. You know, top grade moments have the power to say no to Malkul Maut. Well, I don't want to come with you now. He has the power. But the top grade moment will never do it. He is rather perplexed and telling him, you come sooner. I want to go from here. But he has the power. Bad? Astaghfirullah, there is no ginan which is bad. You can recite any ginan, but these have divided ginans according to time. Some ginans are to be recited only when there is gatpat, known as Betha Gatpat Na Ginan. Some ginans are when Jamaat is sipping niyaz, so it is Ubha Ginans. Some ginans are Parodiya Ginans, some ginans are Samisad Na Ginan, some ginans are Midnight Na Ginan. Otherwise there is no bad ginan at all better. Banned? No, there is nothing. Except in 1916, Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah banned one manhar by Pir Gulmali Shah You know this Pir Gulmadi Shah who wrote Mal Khazina Got Jabhariya. He also wrote one, it's a chopri known as Shastra, like the tune is like Satvani, Retu Mara Sancha Sanya. This is known as Manhar, that is banned. Otherwise no Ginan has been banned. That was in 1916, 73 years ago.
With Kabir's bhajans and Nanak's bhajans.
No. Kabir, yeah. You know, our peers, they started a kind of program which is known as Bhakti program. Pir Shams, Pir Sahib Din, Pir Nasir Din, Pir Sadr Din, Pir Hasan Kabir Din. These 5 generations, they converted over 1 million Ismailis in India, Burma, Kabul, Afghanistan, including Nepal, Bhutan and Tibet. And I have a record written by Bhagat Kalarura that totally our Shastra contained 10 million part stanzas, 10 million, 1 crore part, but we have lost so much. Because in the olden days, we hesitated to write Ginans lest this paper might go down or it might be disrespected, so they did not write it. And slowly, so much literature was lost. And there may be so much Ismaili literature in the hands of Kabir, or I have no evidence, but I think Kabir was internally a murid. Even now there are nearly 175,000 Guptis Ismailis in India. Guptis, they are Hindus, but internally they are Ismaili. They pay the sun, they say the same namaz, dua, they sip niyaz, and all Kriya Karam, Chupi Rite at home or some place they meet. They have Jamat Khanas also in many places. So Kabir, Ramdasa, Nanak, all these people, they might be one way or the other attached to our this Bhakti movement.
Because at least these two were contemporaries of royalty.
No. Our Pir Hasan Kabir lived more than 500 years ago, and Kabir was living only 300 years ago. Not at all. But some Ismaili Bhagat or missionaries or some progeny of our peers might have met them. But no peer was met. Thank you very much.